you, as a king of, a king of fundraising, that's what you are. I mean, from our perspective here, what are you up to here?
To share business ideas with students. I'm going to university as well, and we're also meeting one or two people who've approached us about business projects in Ukraine, and I think it is possible. I mean, even if the projects are not massively profitable, I think it's important that companies like Virgin do invest in Ukraine. So I can't tell you which sectors, I'm afraid, but we are having a look.
You don't really want to talk about specifics of your future businesses if they emerge.
At this stage, I'd rather not talk about them because they may not come to anything, and I don't want to mislead. But we are. I mean, we are looking at Ukraine. We'd like to invest in Ukraine. I mean, I can tell you what I think. Some of the things I think Ukraine needs. I mean, whether Virgin goes into these particular sectors, we'll have to see. But I mean, we have a not-for-profit organisation called the Carbon War Room, where we're trying to get the world to move to a world which is not using oil or which is not using coal, and I think that if Ukraine could go all out to try to become your country from the sun and from the wind, you can power it for hundreds of years, and I think that you should almost set out a plan that says this is the 10-year plan. We must be self-sufficient in fuel within 10 years, and I think Western companies, Western countries, if you need help, should help on something like that. But the interesting thing about it is it's saving us money as well, and so you can be green, clean, and save your country money, and most importantly for Ukraine, stop sending money overseas. And Ukraine has a lot of, I think the president of Ukraine has the biggest, the most difficult job in the world, but I think on his list he should convene a meeting of the top Ukrainian people and say, right, we must be energy dependent. We must be energy. What's the word? Energy neutral. No energy going. No money going abroad in 10 years' time. And this is how we're going to do it. And there should be a 10-year plan. And this is how we're going to get to it. And I think he could get a lot of support from around the world to get there.
Some particular few steps that Ukraine should do right away to get some wins and not to fail as a state, because we're pretty aware that still may happen with the aggression that we face on the other side.
I mean, I've mentioned energy, and energy is such a big part of everything in a country. So any spare money, I would personally say go into energy. I mean, I don't know about other infrastructure projects that are needed in Ukraine, but I suspect there are quite a lot. And obviously government infrastructure projects in times when Ukraine does need to build its military as well. And we have a wonderful group of elders called the Elders that we set up about 5 years ago. Nelson Mandela set them up, and 6 of the elders went to Moscow yesterday. Kofi Annan is the chairman of the elders. President Carter is another. And this particular meeting was one of listening, was just trying to build a relationship, but whether they can help, whether they can't help, we'll see.
And what's the new messages they try to put into Putin's head?
I mean, there's a lot of conflicts which involve Russia, and then there's obviously Ukraine. But so I cannot promise that anything positive will come. But I think the point I'm trying to make is simply that if you have a good relationship, then hopefully, if God forbid problems in East Ukraine start again, maybe they could pick up the phone, maybe they could do something like, at least they have a relationship to try.
Right on the head, on the brains of Ukrainian leaders. If you could give them this little commandment from the founder of Virgin, so what do you suggest to them?
I think the most important thing, if you're running a company, or if you're running a country or a department, but is a group of people, and you've got to inspire those people to believe in what you're doing, believe in what you're saying. You've got to look after your people. You've got to motivate your people. I mean, for people who work in companies, it's got to be a happy, satisfying experience, and that's really important.